everybody, welcome to another episode of Chamber Chat. This is our first Chamber Chat in over a year, because obviously we can't do this with everything going on. So I've got a very special guest in the car today. I'm going to let her introduce herself and we'll kick it off from there.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Miriam Cummins. I am the Executive Director for Casa, Latinos, Unidos, where we're located in Corvallis, but we serve Lynn and Benton counties at the moment. So, yeah.
So for those of us, to some extent, and those people watching who don't know what you guys do, what do you do?
So, Casa Latinos Unidos is a non-profit organization that we help our Latinx community, so our marginalized community that speaks Spanish, Hmong, or Latinx community. So we provide services for them. For instance, with if they need help with basic needs, so for assistance, financial assistance because of COVID, a lot of families have been impacted by it. So we provide some type of stability to make sure that if they need financial assistance, we can provide that for rent, food, and also with our other programs which have been on pause because of COVID.
Right.
We also do many community and culture events, and we also have a program that is called Tus Raíces, Tu Cultura, in which we have some.
Wait. What's it called again?
Tu Cultura, Tus Raíces. So it's your culture, your roots.
Perfect.
Yes. And so with that, because of COVID, we had to put it on pause because we couldn't do events. And then we also have our our civic engagement and leadership program, in which we are working with community members and how to become leaders. And we actually are applying for a grant. Hopefully we get it, fingers crossed.
Yeah. When do you find out?
We hopefully find out in a couple months, if not sooner.
Is it a big one?
It is a big one because we're trying to create an institute and a leadership institute here in Lynn and Benton County.
Very cool.
Through us. So we want to really help promote that, Latinx leaders are in the community and really get them going and how they can become those leaders and what tools and resources they need. So with that, we're very excited because we're going to have 3 types of, leadership options that they can definitely try to pursue. So we're still waiting on that and more to come. So keep your eyes open on that. But really right now, we are helping the Latinx community with our basic needs. Which is really important.
So it's no surprise to anyone. Over the past year, obviously it sucked for everybody, right?
My gosh,
but sadly, our not just from a business standpoint, but minority families, business owners were hit disproportionately harder. How do you guys deal with that in terms of is your outreach different? Is it just, these are questions I know I have as I try to learn more. How do you guys do it last year?
So because we couldn't really do any events in person or even go door to door, we did have to change our strategies and how to reach out to the community and to the people. So we are mostly relying on Facebook. That's a big major outreach for us.
So join their Facebook page.
Yes, please. Just find us on Facebook, Casa Latinos Unidos. Just put that on there and we'll pop up with our logo, as you can see.
Yep.
So, yes.
New logo, right?
It is our new logo.
Yeah.
Yes, we did change it a couple years ago. So, please like us on Facebook. Also, we're on Instagram, so we try to keep both.
Yep.
But really, is that social media platform we're utilizing for the outreach. And when we did, because we started doing testing events with OHA in Lynn and Benton counties, health department, to really help with the testing when COVID really was at its peak and people needed to get tested. And so now with the vaccine, we're changing our gears a little bit with the vaccine outreach, and we're still utilizing Facebook, Instagram, really those social media platforms to get the word out, because a lot of our families have Facebook, and so that's where they actually go to see what's going on in the community, because maybe they joined a group or there's a Spanish-speaking group. So we try to post it everywhere on what is going on in Lynn and Benton counties.
So how many families do you help on? I don't know if it's a given monthly, weekly, daily, what I mean.
Well, it changes on the need, right?
Sure.
So there's times where as cases go up, our need also, like the need goes up for us too. So that means more people either got COVID or are in quarantine isolation, so they need financial assistance. So that demand goes up. It really depends on society and how we are doing too, because again, as things shut down, a lot of our families need to be able to provide for their families. So we see that. So for us, it's hard to say a specific amount of need per month, but we have help. I want to say we range anywhere between $5,000 to up to $12,000 on times where it's not so high on average that we give financial assistance.
Okay.
And so with that, you know, again, the need, it really depends. Right now that everything is opening up, we are seeing a little bit of that spike, you know, because as more people hopefully get more vaccinated, we can kind of be like, okay, things are opening up, the cases they're not rising as high. But there's always that, you know, possibility that it could really go really high really fast, and so we just want to be prepared for that. But, you know, due to a lot of the funding that we have received and support from all of you, so thank you for all of you that have supported us through this journey and this adventure, this pandemic, we can say. It really has helped us to be able to provide services to families. I mean,
well, I was going to ask from a funding perspective. I mean, it's obviously a lot of, you know, of folks who may be watching now, but I mean, that's a lot of money you're checking out.
That is a lot of money.
Where are you getting it?
So we're getting it from grants. I mean, mostly from grants, and it's kind of like a blessing in disguise that I mean, the pandemic really brought up a lot of this disparities and disproportions of how we as a community of color have been impacted, and a lot to the funding from OHA, for instance, Oregon Health Authority. They acknowledge that, oh my gosh, in this area, we need to make sure the Latinx community is helped. So with that came funding from them, and then also funding from other grants in the area and other you know, foundations. But really, we rely on our donors a lot, because with that, with donations, we're not limited in what we can use the funding. So with grants, you're tied to, you can only use it for this program, for this amount, and then with donations, it's a lot more flexible. So we're able to help families in a different way.
And is it just financial donations that you're looking for?
So we are looking for financial donations right now, but you know, we are also looking into collaboration with other agencies, because we also want to learn more about what other resources are available, so we can also, you know, partner together, work together, and how we can provide services. So for us right now, what we're asking is, if you are able to, donations, of course, because again, we don't have that restriction. But you know, if you know of someone's like, you know what, I want to partner with Casa, Latinos, Unidos, so we can really reach out to the Latinx community, I would love to do that, because that's how we are able to expand and help the community.
So you touched on something a minute ago, and that was about the COVID highlighted the lack of I don't know if awareness is the right word, but the certainly the disparaging levels between the amount of assistance that's either available or that's communicated to the Latinx community. How do we as a society, I mean, big picture, I guess, how do we get better at that? You know, that's something certainly we've done a big push at the chamber to just try and learn more, right? Because I speak for me, I don't know. You know?
And it's so important to have these conversations too, Simon, because that's how we both learn. So, you know, if you don't know, it's okay to say, you know what, I don't know. How can I help you? Because I want to be there for you. And so for us, what we did notice is there was a lot of lack of communication in the language for the family. So a lot of the things, as you know, English is the primary language that most people, almost everyone speaks here. But we also have to keep in mind that English is not the only language spoken, especially in Lynn and Benton counties. We have Arabic, we have Hmong, we have Spanish, Vietnamese, you know. So keeping that in mind is having that access to information in their language spoken at home. And so that was one of the first major things that especially in the health, spectrum, you can say.
Sure.
That a lot of the information, especially at the beginnings of COVID, a lot of the information was only in English. So how can we make sure that our community is aware and known of what COVID is, how it's transmitted, all of these important aspects that we need to know as society, so we can help in making sure we get rid of this pandemic. And so in that, it came up the word of health inequities. How access to information in the language is not easily accessible. Sometimes even if you go to the doctor, they don't have an interpreter there. So how can we address these issues to ensuring that the community and the families and the people are heard, and that way they feel like, you know what, you're providing me with information that I understand. Because it's one thing providing information in their language, the other one is also making sure that they understand what you are providing.
Well, yeah, and one of the things that we've run into is, for example, like all of our communication now, or 90% of our communication is bilingual. Right?
I saw that. I love that. Thank you. I saw your newsletters, and I was like, oh my gosh, you guys have it in English and Spanish.
I'm trying.
Yes.
But just so, and this is, I guess, again, to ask those questions, right?
Yeah.
This is one of those things where I'm like, just because we put something in Spanish, there's still a cultural gap, right? There's still and I've heard, there's still it's a trust thing as well, right? So especially within the business community, it's like, hey, what's your business status? Do you want to be on a sort of a business registry? That's, for some people, certainly in the Latinx community, that's a no-no. They don't want Big Brother, it's legit. And I over the past year have been educated to the kind of sadly about where that all comes from, and how do we, can we bridge that? Where do you go with that?
I think it's definitely, again, it's that, that fear, it's like, okay, because most of us, especially here, we come as immigrants, so we don't want to lose that. And for us, it's so important to remain in this country, and a lot of them don't want to put that in danger, because that's how they're providing, for their family and their livelihood. So for that, it's like, I want to protect it. And so I only feel safe in my, within my community. And I think there is a way to reach out to them, but it also has to be in a way with understanding that, it's gonna take some time.
Sure.
Because you have to build that trust. And I do want to, ensure to families, especially to Latinx businesses, that, their information is protected, and that with that comes, for you to gain more, customers, clients to your business, which is important, because again, that's how we're able to help each other in your business, and promoting your business. So with that, I do think that we can, I think if we work together and reaching out to our Latinx businesses, I think we can start building the trust, because we have thought about, having a way of how can we start maybe having a Latinx business registry or something. So if someone wants to go to a restaurant and they don't know which one, okay, which ones are in Corvallis, which ones are in Benton County, which ones are in Lake County, creating that, because, people want to know what's out there. And so I feel that, we can work together, as a partnership, and seeing how we can do that and do it in a way where the community feels like it's a safe place for them.
Well, and that's one of the things that, again, I've been struggling with over the past year is, flipping that switch in my head, and from a chamber perspective, it's like, well, why would you not want to be on a registry? That's advertising for your business. What's the problem there? That's great. But
it also comes with that being that a chamber is very,
old white guys?
Thank you. I'm glad you said it. I was trying to think
you
of how
just
to
say it. Just say it. It's old people who look like me.
It's a very white dominate industry when we talk about chamber, because there have been put you know, before in the past, I'm not
Sure.
saying this is happening
No.
now, but in the past they didn't want people of color
No.
in the chamber.
Yeah.
So because of that, it created that mistrust, and so it's gonna take time to rebuild it.
Yeah.
And so I think because of that, it is gonna take some time because of what happened in the past.
Yeah.
But I don't see it as it's not gonna be possible. It's gonna take some time. But yeah, like you said, it's a wonderful way to promote your business, get advertising, get more customers.
Yeah.
We just need to find it in a way that is culturally specific.
Right.
Because what you are doing for a white business might not necessarily work for a Latinx business.
Right.
So we gotta work on that, on what strategies to do to make sure that it works.
Are you saying like a middle-aged white guy can't do that?
I'm
Is that
not.
what-
I mean,
I'm offended.
I'm sorry. I'm just telling it how it is.
No, and you know what? It's good. And like I said, those are those conversations
Yes.
we all need to have, right?
Yes.
Because that's how we, you know, we don't necessarily have to have all the answers, but we gotta at least start talking about stuff
And
like that.
talking about it, asking for help, and really, it's the first thing is asking those questions.
Yeah.
Like that's what people don't necessarily want to do, is asking those questions, because they're like, I don't want them to know that I don't know. But it's okay if you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
That's
right,
why we're here to help you, and we want to talk about it.
It's way better not to guess and get it
Yes.
wrong than just say, yeah, I don't know.
Yes. Don't make assumptions, and don't assume that just because it works for one person, it's gonna work for everybody.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Yes.
So let's shift gears here a little bit. Obviously, you know, part of Chamber Chat is to learn about the businesses, right? And learn about what you do. But part of it also is to learn about who does the business. So now we start getting into the personal stuff.
Here we go.
So, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Bring it.
All right, cool. Well, let's obviously name and everything. We wanna. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Okay, so I'm from Zamora, Michoacan, Mexico.
Okay.
So
Where's that?
That is, if you know where Guadalajara is, it's about 2-3 hours south.
Okay.
Because Guadalajara is in Jalisco, and I'm from Michoacan, which is like the state. You know, like you're talking about Oregon, Washington, it's a state.
Yep.
So it's very Michoacan is. If you talk to many of the Latinx businesses, you'll hear we're a lot from Michoacan. A lot from people from Michoacan. Michoacan.
Okay.
We're all, you know, we're from different parts of Michoacan, but that's like, I'm able to connect with people. Like, hey, you're from Michoacan? Me too. What's up? And so, yeah, I'm from Michoacan, and I actually came to the States when I was 8 years old.
Okay.
With my family. We moved to Coos Bay, Oregon. If you
Right
know
on.
where that is.
Coos Bay's great. Or maybe.
To who? To maybe if you're white?
Oh.
I'm sorry, but I did not have a good experience because as a brown Latina girl in Coos Bay, it was not kind for me.
Okay.
So the moment I graduated from high school, I left Coos Bay and came to the Mid-Valley for school. I went to Western Oregon for 1 year and then transferred to OSU, and that's where I graduated in 2011.
Nice.
With my BA in Spanish and French. And
French?
Well, I have a minor in French.
Right on.
So, but because I don't practice it much, I'm losing it. But I do try to listen to music in French, shows in French, try to keep it, you know.
Yeah.
Because I want to go back. Because I studied in France for 3 months, so I want to go back.
Where in France?
Angers, which is about an hour and a half from Paris.
Yeah.
So.
That's a cool country.
Oh, it is.
That's very cool.
I was like, I did not want to leave, but responsibilities.
So you've been here since, or in the Mid-Willamette Valley in and around, or was it in Corvallis, Albany area? Or
It's always been. So in 2011, when I graduated, we moved to Albany because it was cheaper to buy a house in Albany than it was in Corvallis.
Still is.
Yes, actually, now that I was thinking, it's like it's still, even though house prices right now have gone up, it is still cheaper. Unfortunately, that's the market. And so we've been here since then, and I had 2 kids.
Nice.
Now I gained another kid in my life, so I have 3 now because we're a blended family now.
Right on.
So we're really excited. So I have a 5.5-year-old. His name is Ethan, and I have Mateo, who's 7, and Isabella, who's turning 9 in November. So
oh man, those are cool ages too.
It is. It's busy, and it's just one of those things that as a parent, you try to do what's right. And distance learning, I hated it, and so did my kids.
What did you struggle with? What was the worst part?
It's so frustrating for them to be on a screen for long periods of time.
Yeah.
And my son Mateo, he's special needs, but he's very, he knows when something is frustrating, and he did not like it. So it did take a while for him to get used to that rhythm, and so.
Is he on the spectrum?
Yes.
So my daughter's on the spectrum too.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's tough.
It is. I mean, especially when you don't get breaks. I mean, even if you have an IEP, it's still really hard for online learning to be able to fulfill their needs.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, to me, I feel like 2020 is just a year that I'm just gonna scratch out like it didn't exist, because I can't really rely on what they learn in 2020 as a base.
So to that point, what was one good thing to come out of the pandemic? And we're not out of it yet, but we're hopefully getting there. And I am in the middle of nowhere, by the way.
Hey, I'm looking at you. It was like, hey, that's good.
We're way out of Albany now. I took a wrong turn somewhere.
Yeah, no, this is good. I think we'll end up in
somewhere.
Out of maybe
sweet.
Lebanon.
Yeah, who knows where we are.
Get up here. So one good thing that came out of the pandemic, it's bringing awareness to the areas that are in great need. So when we're talking in what areas, right? If we're talking health, or if we're talking education, but since we were talking about education earlier, I'll refer to that. And I think one thing that did come out was that we realized, one, that in-person learning is so crucial. And why sometimes distance learning doesn't work for all. Especially when not everybody has the same access. For instance, not everybody in their house might have internet. So that was a struggle to begin with.
Yeah, you're right.
Internet access.
Yeah.
And, getting those hotspots, or getting in a rural area, because Lynn and Benton counties have rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
And so dealing with how do we make sure our kids have that access, and if they don't, what are the services that we can provide, and really
do you think this will fix it? Do you think it's like, hey, everything got highlighted? Mm-hmm. My fear is, and I try to stay positive on it, but my fear is, well, it's fixed now, or we made it through, right? So I'm just turning around. Is it cool? We're good. We fixed it.
Oh well, yeah. It's not fixed.
No, but that's my fear. That's the impression.
Yeah, the impression. I think people think, people have become aware of it.
Yeah.
And if they are working on making it better, to continue to making it better. Just because it's that we did it, we're done. No, the work is still there to be done. I mean, it's still so much, because something else might happen that might open up other questions, other concerns. So right now, I think we have addressed that there's need in rural areas, so high-speed internet. That's definitely something. So now people are thinking about that,
which is good.
And now it's like that, because of that, the community and the people have spoken. Maybe we can bring in the legislature to address those concerns. So in that aspect, yes, it's bringing that awareness.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's going to take work to make it happen, or to continue to bring that awareness, because if you know anything about the government system, it takes forever to get anything really accomplished. Unfortunately, that is how the system is. We
also realize that teachers do not get paid enough. Whatever they get paid, it's not enough.
I can say I'm no teacher, and I appreciate our teachers. Yes, we do. Let me tell you, being at home with my kids, trying to be a parent, be a teacher, be a nurse, be a doc. I mean, I was
5th grade math? Forget it.
I mean, and I went to college, right? I'm looking at this, and I'm like, what are you doing?
You remember back when you were younger, and they were always like, oh, you'll never use this again.
Yes!
Yeah, no.
Little did we know we
did. We needed it.
Oh my gosh. I was like, if I could just go back in time and be like, I want to go back and relearn that, instead of me watching YouTube videos on how to do it and learn from some random person how to do it. I mean, it was like, this is not what, okay, I guess I'm learning 5th grade math, and mostly good thing my kids were in 1st and 2nd grade, so it wasn't that bad. But still, though, I was like relearning.
Yeah.
I do not have patience. I love my kids. I really do. I love them.
Go to your room.
Yes, but I'm not a teacher, and I have.
Can you imagine doing that with 30 kids in a classroom? Yeah.
I mean, I could barely do it with 2. So.
You're all champions, teachers.
Yes.
Thanks for your work.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
yes.
so we do this part. I got to remember how to do it now. It's a quick fire thing. So I'm gonna fire off some questions to you, and you got to answer them as quick as you can.
Oh shoot! Okay.
All right. So you got to stay alert.
All right, here we go.
Based on some of your answers, you may be asked to justify some of them. Okay.
All right.
We're gonna start with some. We'll start with some easy ones.
Okay, good.
All right. Favorite food.
Mexican food.
More detail. Come on.
Pozole.
One dish.
Pozole.
What is it?
It's a Mexican dish that has hominy, pork, and it's a red sauce. That's a chili sauce, and it's delicious. You can determine how spicy you want it, but it's like a soup. It's a broth.
If you're not making it, where's the best place that serves it?
Oh shoot!
Or you're gonna.
I was gonna say at my mom's house, but she's not.
Mom can't count. Come on, Mom.
That's hard. That's hard. Okay, how about this? Can I change it to carne asada because I know of a good place?
Sure.
Okay, carne asada in my go-to place that I go to, it's in Albany, and it's Los Tequilas restaurant.
Where is that?
That is right across from the Fred Meyer in Albany. So it's literally right across. It's on Stadium, I think. I'm so horrible.
By the donut place.
Yes, donut.
By
yes,
Quartz.
Quartz donut.
By
right,
Quartz.
literally right next to it. It's in that same
I
park.
just discovered Quartz like about a month ago.
Oh my god, that is yes. For donuts, you want to go. I mean, I love Quartz. So.
Dinner, then dessert. You're
yes,
set.
there you go. What else do you need?
It's perfect. Worst thing you've ever eaten?
Shit. That's a tough one.
Come on.
Escargot. Snails.
Oh yeah? In France?
In France. I not like it.
They're pretty gnarly, huh?
Yes, I could not get to the texture.
Yeah.
It was so hard to swallow. I was like.
Yeah, not good.
No.
Favorite band or music? No, band. Band specific.
Oh, shoot. Band. I love Disturbed. Heavy metal, heavy rock.
Really?
Yes, I know, right? But I also like reggaeton. Like, I love reggaeton. So Latin music, it's like, I mean.
No, forget that.
Okay.
Heavy metal?
Yes.
Okay, judgment on my part. I did not see you being a heavy metal. Well, you know.
Slipknot. I mean, Caesar. Like, they're not really heavy metal, but like that type of band.
I love it.
I mean, heck yeah, I've gone to.
We can be friends.
Heck yeah, I've gone to the amphitheater up in Washington, up there.
Oh yeah, Clark County.
Yeah, to go see Disturbed and Slipknot.
I went to see Def Leppard up there, which was kind of cool. It was Def Leppard. I think it was like Journey as well.
Oh my gosh!
I want to go this summer, whenever it is now. They have Def Leppard, Motley Crue, and Joan Jett are all touring together. Oh, and Poison. They're all touring together. I know. How sweet would that be?
Oh my gosh!
Oh man,
No, see, and that's the assumption. What the people assume. It's like, you like what? I'm like, heck yeah! I go to those concerts. I mean, I'm the only music I do not like, and I'm sorry if this hurts anybody's feelings.
Go on in.
It's country. Okay, good. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Some of it is okay.
Some of it, yeah, but mostly I just.
But not like where your dog died and your girlfriend left you.
Yes, it's like nails on the chalkboard for me. I can't. Like if I hear it, I'm like no. But yes, everything else I usually listen to it.
You good?
So yeah.
Coolest place you've ever been?
Coolest place.
Not your where you grew up.
Okay.
Gotta be somewhere. Visit.
I mean, I was Paris. I loved Paris. I mean, I was there for a week, so I loved it. So coolest place, Paris.
I got engaged in Paris.
You did?
Yeah.
That's
top
so
of the Eiffel Tower.
romantic.
Yeah. That was the only way I could do it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, like I had to do it. We were in the city above. I mean, come on.
I've
No
got to
option.
at least get something on my side here.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Up on the Eiffel Tower. Super cool.
So romantic. Did you get a 1 knee?
I did. You know what's funny as well? I had this was it would have been December 2003, and so we took a photo there, and the person who was up there and we took a photo with was from Seattle.
What?
I know, of all the places.
World.
It was literally
Holy
from Seattle.
smokes.
We didn't know him or anything. It was.
Wow. I was like, hey, take my photo. I'm from Seattle. Awesome. Oregon.
No kidding. Sports.
Yes, soccer and tennis. I love soccer and tennis.
I think we're gonna get along just fine.
Well, awesome. Because I mean, that's what I played also in high school was soccer and tennis. So.
Why are we should have kicked this off. Forget the other stuff.
I know.
What's the deal?
I know. Hey, you're the one
you played at Coos Bay in high school?
In Coos Bay and Marshville High School. That's where I graduated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Where'd you play? What position?
Front.
Not goalie.
Heck no.
Can you touch it more?
I mean, no, because I'm short. I mean, I can't even jump. I'd be like, no. But no, I mean, but I would say out of the two, I would say tennis is definitely my number one, and number two is soccer, just because.
Nice.
But see, I like watching it. So my soccer team is Barcelona.
Okay.
So
Messi just signed a new contract.
I know.
It's a 5 year. 5 year, but only 2 as a player. So like 3 as an ambassador, I guess. He's gonna come to Miami.
Oh, I was gonna say he's gonna
Oh yeah. If you could meet one person who's still alive, who would it be? Anyone in the world.
Anyone in the world who's still alive?
Yep. And you know what the next question is gonna be.
Oh my god. Okay, so there's actually 2 people.
Go on.
Okay. I will love to meet in person Kamala Harris.
Okay.
And AOC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Okay.
They're like...
I was going to ask why, but I think it's probably pretty obvious, right?
I think it's pretty obvious, right? They're just 2 women who are just...
They're pretty badass.
Yes, I'm thinking. I was like, I wasn't sure if I could say that word, but I'm like, they are.
You can say that.
They are bad. I mean, they're just... Like, seriously, I would love to meet them in person. And if I do, I'm going to be like fangirling. And I'll be like, oh my god, I can't speak.
So this is one of those weird things where, again... 48, I'm a white guy. I didn't see that. Well, what is that on the road?
That's glass.
Yeah. Well, you see the election, right? And I'm watching it with my wife, and I'm watching it come through. And regardless of your politics or whatever, right? She sees a woman become vice president for the first time. And again, and I can appreciate it sort of from a theoretical standpoint, but to see her and like gather our daughters around and just say, hey, this is like, and it's kind of like. Yeah, it just hit me a little different, you know?
Yeah, it's like girls can do it too, okay?
Right.
It doesn't matter also what your gender is, you can do it. And here's proof that even those people have put these barriers, and you know, because before it was mostly white men. I mean, we had Barack Obama, but look how much he went through to get to where he got. But a woman of color, vice president, that's pretty badass. I mean, I'm like, that's what I will love. And I even have, like, one thing that I loved about her, and I still do, is she wore her Converse when she went out to, you know, and I had bought some Converse for me and my daughter, and we call them Kamala Harris shoes.
It's the shoes.
Yeah, it's the shoes. Every time I feel empowered, I want to make some change, I wear my shoes.
It's like the RBG.
The collar, the white collar. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, I wear my pearls too. So when I want to do change, I wear my white pearls and my Kamala Harris shoes.
So if we see you dressed like that,
you know something's going down.
Get out of the way.
Yes. Make way. Something's just about to go down.
It's going down. All right, last question.
Okay.
Somebody, obviously, who's not with us anymore. Somebody, it can't be family and stuff. We all want to meet them.
No, okay.
But somebody famous.
Somebody famous.
In history.
In history. Man, you know, I've never really, I mean, I've thought about it. It's just so hard because...
Obviously not very much.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think here. I know
sorry
it's
for the long pause here.
I'm sorry, I'm still thinking. I mean...
Captain Slow here.
I know.
This is video gold. All this silence.
I know. I'm trying to. That's why I'm trying to make the space so that way you can at least hear my voice while I'm still thinking. And it's kind of hard because now I'm thinking about what I'm gonna say. Okay, I would love to meet and talk and have a conversation with Martin Luther King Jr. Okay. Because I would like him to see what do you think of where we're at right now. I would like to have a chat with him and be like, you did all this work. How do you feel your work has impacted us and has paved the way for a woman who is a person of color and who identifies as a bicultural black woman? How do you feel about that? You know, I just want to have like those conversations. If I could bring him back to this time.
Do you think it would be better? Like we're doing better?
I think he would say it's better than what it was before.
Well, you
But,
always, you hear,
know,
and again, perspective is everything, right? But you always hear this, you know, oh, it's horrendous right now, and you know, there's the depending again on your politics and outlook and all that whole mess.
Yeah.
But is it better? Like, it's gotta be, right?
I think he probably hoped it was a lot more better than what it is. I think he would have liked to see more of a progress early on.
Yeah.
But I think because of what happened last 4 years, and again, nothing to do with that, but it did, I feel, as a person of color, regressed.
Yeah.
You know, some of those things that we were working on to go forward.
Yeah.
But I think he would look at it as a big step to improve and maybe do better.
Very
So,
cool.
and that I just would love to see what he would have to say,
That'd be
because,
cool.
you know, I mean, I just want to see, it's like, hey, what do you think? You know, me as a Latina woman, you know, I never thought I was going to run for office.
Yeah.
So for that, it's like, I wouldn't have had that opportunity if it wasn't for him and his work and the people that stood there next to him to make it happen.
Yeah.
And that really, you know, makes me feel like I owe a lot to that movement, because I'm where I'm at because of the progress that was made. But I feel like, yes, we can do better.
We can do a lot better. We'll keep trying.
Yes, we'll keep trying.
Hey, I want to thank you for being obviously a part of this. Our first one back. So that's kind of a big deal for us as well.
Oh my gosh.
If they want to get a hold of you,
Yes.
give them your, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, yes. So, like I said at the beginning, Facebook, if you like us, our contact information is there. If you want to get a hold of, because we have 2 community health workers, if you need assistance, or, you know, you want to be how we can work together, you can reach out to me, Miriam Cummins. My email is executive.director@Casa and I will give you all of my
and I'll put it on the video.
But you can also give me a call. You can text me. My phone number is 541-602-2740. I mean, I welcome, you know, any type of calling or text. I usually prefer text because I can, you know, be in a meeting and get...
Who wants to talk to people?
I know. I mean, COVID has really, like, just made me want to be like...
Oh, no, that was a
text.
COVID thing.
Yeah,
In
it wasn't
general.
before this. It was like in general.
Yeah.
But, you know, email me, please text me, call me. You know, you can also call the office. I'll get the message back.
Yeah.
But really, you know, I would love to collaborate and work with any business that wants to really get the Latinx community involved and work together. Because again, it takes a village. And so for us, it's wonderful that if you want to work with us, perfect. You know, we're here. Utilize us. Don't reinvent the wheel, okay? We're here.
You know what you're doing.
Yes, we know what we're doing.
And we got to keep having those conversations.
Yes, they're hard, but we gotta.
So thank you for joining us.
Simon.
And we will catch you guys on the next episode of Chamber Chat.
Yay.
See you later.
Bye.